Our 20s are the loneliest decade in our lives. That's at least how McJ, the author of the book The Defining Decade, puts it. In fact, I have found that for many young people, loneliness peaks in their 20s after they graduate from college or university, because it's the first time where we don't have a built-in system where we see our friends on a daily basis. Adding to this, through social media, we are constantly seeing everyone else socializing and living their best lives. Even though most people recognize that these are snapshots in time and not a full picture of someone's life, seeing other people socializing while we are not can definitely make us feel more isolated and lonely. And while I was doing my research for this topic, I have also found that lots of other young creators have struggled with loneliness and shared their experience online. So I thought, let's look a bit deeper into what loneliness actually is, where it comes from, and how we can move away from it. And because I'm not a studied psychologist, I needed some help from my friend Nicole, who is a studied therapist and has already worked with many young people, especially in their 20s and in their 30s. She has also already been in one of my previous videos where we spoke about love and dating in your 20s. So I linked that down below if any one of you is interested to watch that as well. The first thing we spoke about is that loneliness is not just a feeling, but also a thought.
There is something I use in my practice called a cognitive triangle. So, what the cognitive triangle believes or represents is that your thoughts impact your emotions, which impact your behaviors.
So, for example, if you have the thought of nobody loves me, this thought makes you feel sad, which might create a behavior of you taking a nap because you feel sad. And that creates more loneliness, which goes back to the thought of nobody loves me, which goes back to more sadness and maybe leads you to a different type of depressive behavior.
It's important when you're feeling something to identify what is the thought that is attached to this feeling. And if I can change the thought, then the feeling will change and the behavior will change. Let's change the thought to, it's not that nobody loves me, it's just that I'm going through a hard time and I'm needing more support than I'm getting. And maybe I should think about reaching out to some people. That might create more of a feeling of hope, which might create more of a motivation to reach out and get support. And that support might then create more positive thoughts, more positive emotions, more positive behaviors.
To a certain extent, loneliness can also be a lack of connection to yourself. So it can be a symptom of feeling a bit disconnected with yourself, or even having that feeling of not really knowing yourself. But Nicole also put another really important point here, and she said that we are relational beings and we're also really supposed to connect and feel a sense of belonging.
So part of it is also about getting clear on who it is that you really want to be and how you really want to feel in your body. Who are you really? And building a tribe of people that make you feel a sense of belonging. And I think there is a difference between fitting in versus belonging. Fitting in is about changing yourself and changing who you authentically are in order for people to like you. And belonging is about leading authentically with who you are and feeling loved and feeling seen for who you are without trying to be anybody else.
In order to connect with yourself and get a better understanding of who you are or who you want to be, meditation like sitting down and closing your eyes or listening to a guided meditation on Insight Timer or Headspace can also be a great practice.
Meditation can also be just allowing yourself to be fully present in something that is a full body experience. So that might be exercising, that might be going for a walk, that might be listening to music, just something that allows you to fully land in the present moment. The more time that we spend in the present moment, the more our anxieties and our nervous system will relax, and then our intuition can finally come through and speak to us. The goal from there is just to listen to your intuition, is to just create the space for your intuition to speak.
Nicole also just said that if we do feel a sense of belonging, we tend to live authentically and we have a feeling of being loved and being seen for the person that we are and not trying to be anybody else. So to my question, how we can live more authentically, or how we can even get a better understanding of who we are, she said that
I think this is the beauty of being in your 20s. It is a process of trying on different versions of yourself and checking in with your body and checking in with your heart and seeing, does this feel good? Does this feel like the person that I want to be? Because the truth is that who you are can shift throughout your life. It's more about finding when you feel your best and creating a life that supports and is aligned with that version of you.
she also shared a fun exercise with me that you can try out with your friends.
You can text or email like 5 of your closest friends or family members and ask them how the room changes when you walk in. And through the themes that you notice in people's answers, it will give you a sense of who you are.
When we feel lonely, we of course do not feel like our best, and we might also not even feel like ourselves. So a good way to move out of this loneliness state is to think about what our higher self would thank us for doing, that we can actually visualize right now and take action towards too. For example, probably you won't really feel like working out, but your higher self would thank you for doing it. So when we think about our higher self, the person that we want to be, it tends to be a lot easier to take action and just move our bodies, for example. And I have also definitely seen for myself that this has definitely helped me also to break up thought cycles and just move towards a more positive and happier state again.
I also suggest for people who are feeling lonely, sometimes it's a scheduling issue and it's a self-knowledge issue of like balancing your introverted self with your extroverted self. So for some people, it's like, hey, I need 5 nights a week where I spend time with myself and 2 nights a week where I go out with people. And that's what makes me feel balanced. That's what makes me feel connected with myself while connecting with others. For some people, it's like, I need to be out 5 nights a week and I need to be home 2 nights a week. And so the question I want to ask is, when do you feel the most balance? And it's kind of experiment with your social time versus your alone time. And then I would start at the beginning of the week with reaching out, making a list of people that you want to feel more connected to or spend more time with, and reaching out to them at the beginning of the week and plugging them into your schedule so that you're feeling a good balance of spending time with people versus spending time with yourself.
Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this video helped a bit in terms of understanding loneliness a bit better and also how we can cope with it. Of course, I also want to acknowledge that different things work for different people, but this is also why I'm really trying to provide the best qualitative education here by also inviting the best experts that I can find to really make sure that we have science-backed information here and not just a random person sharing their opinions on these like really psychological and for me also important topics. So have an amazing day and I hope to see you very soon in one of my next videos.